wants to make. I think this is clearer to me now than it was when I kind of had some of these same opinions or same ideas. First of all, let's go to, I had to look up the word. It's not quite unenumerated. That just means it's not listed in there.
Right.
I see it as similar to the Nano Brewery that we just went through. Very similar, and you know, it's something new. It's something that wasn't envisioned when they wrote these ordinances. You know, I'll give it to that. To speak to the spirit of the ordinance, I do find in the section 3.5 deals with retail, and 3.42, which deals with nightclub, which to me are the two closest things to what we're describing here. You know, on top of that, I don't believe there's going to be illegal activity up there. I don't think it's going to be tolerated. It will not be tolerated in this town between the local police force and the liquor commission. So I'm not necessarily concerned about that. Maybe if laws change things, I don't know about that, but at this time I don't think I'm concerned about that. So what I am saying is I do see the uses listed in 3, while it doesn't enumerate or specifically talk about this use. When they did the ordinances, they had no idea. It's like they didn't. What was a Nano Brewery? I mean, we don't even have anything about breweries in our ordinances, and we've got 2 breweries now. So,
you know, it's funny you mentioned the Nano Brewery. We were talking about charitable gaming. Now we're talking about cigar bar lounges. All 3 of those have just recently been approved by the state within the last year.
Yeah, he brought up another good
Within the last year.
yeah, absolutely.
Well, the charitable gaming is maybe a couple years older, but so I mean, and who knows what's coming down the pipe, you know?
I have to look at the ordinances,
different businesses, different things that the state allows.
You know, generally I feel that our job is to look at these ordinances, and to look at these cases, and to see, well, maybe try to understand what these ordinances, like the sign ordinance was a good example of something I got into, to try to understand what they were trying to prohibit or what they were trying to gain by that ordinance. I just think this is a situation that's just was never thought of. You know, at first I thought it was any kind of smoking. And I read the law, and I actually made a point on the law about smoking cigarettes. So, I don't know, I don't think that it violates the spirit of the ordinance, I guess is what I'm trying to say, as to how I have to interpret and make my decision on it. And I don't think it's going to be legal. I just don't see legal activity. It's going to get, it wouldn't take long to catch up. I mean, you know Hampton PD, you know the Liquor Commission. You gotta get a complaint or 2. You're going to be on it. This gentleman, he doesn't want to lose his liquor license. He doesn't want to lose his business. So, I mean, I take him on his word on that stuff. That's all I'm going to say. That's what I got out of this, and I was just looking at this stuff tonight.
Do I have a motion?
Brian, have anything more?
No, I have nothing more. No, I started this and I thought.
I just want to make sure that...
I just think I'm on the same page with Ed on that. I think it's we just don't have it in our ordinances, and I think it's allowed use by the state. I don't think it's a bad spot if we were going to do it in the town to do it. That's all. I don't know what else to say.
Do you have a motion?
I make a motion, we approve it.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it with a stipulation, if Ed would go along with it, that they would not be selling any of the incense or synthetic marijuana, stuff like that, period, in the building.
I definitely would agree with that.
And we'll definitely approve that, definitely, with no hesitation.
Meet the 5 criteria? Ed?
Yes, it does. Yes,
Brian? And you accepted his amendment? to-
absolutely.
Okay. Good. I agree with it. Jack?
I don't,
Okay.
Well, first of all, they don't see the hardship of the building. They can do a lot of other things with it besides that.
Can I comment? That's
No.
simplex that he mentioned.
I don't think we need that. I've been on the beach, I think, longer than anybody here. I watched us go from you get off the bus, and if you had a smell, they locked you up. You had no liquor, no anything. Right now, right today, you know how the kids are, and I don't care what anybody says here. That'll be a bunch of younger people, and I know he said what they're gonna do and everything, but I'm not for it one bit, because I think we're asking for problems.
And based on the way you went through it, I would agree 5 criteria have been met, but let me put you on notice. I'll be the first one screaming at the police if I hear anything. If you're familiar with the area, by this area, I mean the beach, they'll be on you.
That's my
And
name.
we've had people lose their liquor license, et cetera.
I think Eddie would be the first one to complain.
I'm also known by Eddie, like
Sorry.
because
No,
of my
it's
name. A lot of
confusing.
people call me Eddie. That's what.
Those in favor of the motion? Those opposed? 3-2. Jack and Dick. Good luck and keep it clean.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you,
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.